Baddies are everywhere. We are seeing a level of romance in One Piece I haven't seen since the invention of the Furby.
Welcome to Brooks Sake, the One Piece YouTube channel for you and your mother. Today we're talking about chapter 1157, entitled The Legendary Bar.
This chapter starts off with a bang as the Rocks pirates go to a raid to another hopeless island, where we're introduced to a lot of interesting concepts regarding the crew. For instance, the rivalry of Silver Axe and Shakky, even giving Shakky some funny moments we haven't really seen since Strong World. I think giving him this type of comedic side to him really helps him stand out in the crew, instead of just ore farming as he usually does. And I really hope that we get to see more of Mr. Floaty Man in the near future. Although, I think my favorite part of this entire scene is the conversation between Kaido and Whitebeard regarding Devil Fruits. I'm a bit jealous I can't do that. Interested in getting a power, huh? Which I find quite ironic due to the fact that this is coming from the guy who thinks hockey is everything, even making it a major part of him when he was fighting Luffy during the Wano arc. But over time, taste buds change, so it's completely possible he changed his mind during the Age of Roger. Another small thing from this encounter I recognize is how connected the characters really are sometimes. For the son of Whitebeard would die at the hands of Kaido's army in a shy 40 years during, again, bringing back up to the Wano arc. I'm seeing a lot of similarities between this Rocks Pirates and a lot of the things happening during the Wano arc.
We are then given a series of information regarding the Rocks crew. In the span of 2 years, they seem to have a variety of attacks and violations of the world government, including raids, ships destroyed, and even violation of international law, really showing off the power and just true brute of this crew. I think my favorite line from this dump was, "One nation brought to ruin," and I'm wondering if this is them talking about God Valley, or I'm guessing since that haven't happened yet, maybe they're talking about somewhere completely different, which brings up a lot of more questions about this crew and what exactly they did to the world. It's then revealed that this was the time known as the Rocks era, really putting into view that Roger really didn't rise into his power for another decade or two. I think this power struggle really does come in later, with Rocks being defeated by Roger and Garp, showing signs of the end of his era and the start of the Great Pirate Era. We are then shown a confrontation between Harold and the world government, and the attempt to seize an island. In fact, it's the same very island Harold liberated his future wife Ida from many years ago. Although brought up numerous times in One Piece history, they're talking about how the island has no government authority and they have no human rights, which isn't really that big considering the past of the series. But the scene also really does showcase a really mad-looking Harold, which we hadn't really ever seen before except for the portraits we had seen in the present time. And as a matter of fact, in the very next page, it's revealed Harold shaved his head, even resembling the portrait even more than he did originally. And that really signifies we're actually nearing the truth of if Loki killed his father or not. We're also shown a panel of young Garp, Sengoku, and Suru, who were all Vice Admiral at the time. But what we are also shown is Kong, who was only an Admiral at the time, which was quite shocking to me. Which makes me wonder if they were ever going to see his fellow Admirals, or even the Fleet Admiral at that time. But knowing the focus of the segment, I highly doubt it. It's still very interesting that he was only at this level at the time of the chapter. It still feels like the Marines' history isn't that well known, and I wonder if we're ever going to actually get a throughout look at it, if it's through the actual series, the SBS, or even maybe an own spin-off novel focusing on the Marines. Then we get to the real gooner part of the chapter, where it's revealed that Shakky has quit the Kucha Pirates. One pirate even saying, "I set sail because I dreamed of being attacked by the Kucha Pirates of Shakky." The amount of pure power she has simply due to her hotness is actually insane. I'm assuming the current leader of the Kucha would be the Twitter's version of Luffy's mom of the week, as it changes every once in a while. We are then shown an interesting conversation between Gloriosa and Big Mom, where you can actually spot a tiny Labubu version of Katakuri, or farming since day one, with even a baby oven to shot too, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's also Daifuku in the panel. It's then that Shakky has her very first rip-off bar created with the power of OnlyFans subscribers. It also seems that Shakky also has her grasp on everyone, including powerhouses such as Whitebeard and Rocks, which if you've been reading, which I'm assuming you have since you're watching this, they're pretty stone-faced when it comes to love. And this chapter just really shows off how much power she really had at the time, and the only way I see the reason we don't talk about her anymore is because she finally tied the knot with Silver's Rayleigh. And that really brings up the other option. What were the reactions of everybody? Did Roger become jealous of Rayleigh? What is the power struggle between these two from the marriage of them two? That's when we get the end of the chapter, where we see the 5 elders, including Saturn, which we haven't really seen since his death on Egghead, and they're talking about the existence of Elbaf, and they decide if Harold wants Elbaf to really be an official country, he must be the one to kill Roxty Zebek. I really like this chapter. We're getting some things answered within the whole flashback. Even if we are diverging from the Loki set things, I think that's a little bit okay. And we're moving so close to the appearance of Harold that we see at the time of his death. I'm very curious to why he removed his horns in the first place. Maybe something happened between Harold and Loki and he removes it as a sign of saying they are different. It could also be that he actually does kill Rox after the events of God Valley, and it was his way to atone for what he did. And although the flashback does feel a little bit funny, because Loki's just talking about how hot Shakky is, and it's quite enjoyable, but I'm imagining Orgin being like, bro, can we please get on to us of talking about our father dying? And there's also the case of the love-stricken Roger and Rox, which really makes you think what really caused the God Valley incident. Let me know your thoughts of the chapter in the comments, and maybe we'll find out in the near future something far stronger than any of the ancient weapons combined is lying in plain sight.